Cup of English podcast for Paul and Lily.
Do you know what is one of the most frightening things in the English language? Introducing yourself. Someone says, "Tell me about yourself," and suddenly your brain goes completely empty. You forget your own name. You forget where you live. You forget everything.
Welcome, everyone, to a Cup of English podcast. I'm Lily.
And I'm Paul, and today we are talking about how to introduce yourself in English, how to talk about who you are, where you are from, what you do. Simple, natural, confident. Perfect for beginners.
This is honestly one of the most useful topics we have ever covered, because introducing yourself happens everywhere. New job, new class, new country, new friend. The first thing you always do is introduce yourself.
And most people, even people who speak English well, get nervous and say something strange.
Like what?
Like nothing, complete silence, or too much. I once met a man at a party who introduced himself and then talked for 45 minutes without stopping. By the end, I knew his full medical history.
His medical history?
He had a very interesting knee operation in 2019. I know all about it. We had only just met.
There is a balance. You want to say enough, but not 45 minutes of knee surgery. Today we help you find that balance. Let's go.
Right. The most basic introduction. My name is the simplest way to say who you are. My name is Paul. Or more casual, I'm Paul. Just I'm and your name. Very natural, very easy.
In casual situations, meeting new friends, parties, informal places, we almost always say, I'm Lily, instead of, my name is Lily. My name is sounds a little bit formal, like you are reading from a document.
My name is Paul Richard Henderson. Very formal, very strange at a party.
Unless you are signing a contract, just say, I'm Paul. Okay, next phrase. I'm from... Where are you from? I'm from London. I'm from California. Very simple. Or you can say, I'm originally from... This means where you were born, where you grew up. I'm originally from London, but I live in Los Angeles now.
Which is exactly my situation. I say this a lot here in LA. People hear my accent and they say, "Where are you from?" And I say, "I'm originally from London." And they say, "Oh, I love London." And then they tell me about the one time they visited London for 4 days in 2015 and how much they loved it.
Every single time?
Every single time, without fail. "Oh, I went to London once. I saw Big Ben. I had fish and chips." And I say, "Wonderful," and they tell me the whole trip.
That is so funny. I get this in reverse. I'm from California, and British people say, "Oh, I love California. The sunshine, the beaches, Hollywood."
Well, California does sound rather wonderful.
It is wonderful. But sometimes I just want to have a normal conversation and not give a tourism presentation about my home state.
Welcome to California. Population, Lily.
Exactly. Okay, I have an introduction story. My first week at university. Very nervous, new place, new people. We had to go around the room and introduce ourselves. Very classic. The professor said, just say your name and one interesting fact about yourself.
Oh no, the interesting fact introduction. This is terrifying.
It is terrifying because suddenly you have to decide, what is interesting about me? And your brain just stops working.
What did you say?
So I was sitting there listening to everyone else go first. One girl said she spoke 4 languages. One guy said he had climbed a mountain. Very impressive introductions. And then it was my turn. and I panicked.
What happened?
I said, and I genuinely said this. I said, "Hi, I'm Lily, and I once ate an entire pizza by myself in 12 minutes."
You said what?
A whole pizza in 12 minutes. That was my interesting fact. In a room full of mountain climbers and polyglots.
What did the professor say?
He looked at me for a long moment and said, "That is impressive, Lily. Thank you." And moved on very quickly.
He had no idea how to respond to that.
Nobody did. The whole room was silent for about 3 seconds. And then the next person started talking, and everyone pretended it hadn't happened.
Did anyone ever mention it to you again?
One girl came up to me after class and said, "I respected that. Everyone else was trying to sound impressive, and you just said something real." And we became best friends.
The pizza introduction got you a best friend.
The power of an honest introduction. Okay, vocabulary. To introduce yourself. To tell someone who you are for the first time. Let me introduce myself. I'm Lily. An introduction. The moment when you meet someone for the first time. We had a great introduction at the party. And to make a good first impression. To seem good and likable when you meet someone for the first time. I really wanted to make a good first impression.
The pizza story definitely made an impression. Whether it was a good one is debatable.
It got me a best friend, so I'm counting it as good.
Right. Next part of an introduction. What do you do? I work as a teacher. I work as an engineer. Or simply, I'm a doctor. I'm a student.
And a very useful phrase, I'm studying, for students. I'm studying English. I'm studying medicine. Simple and natural.
I have a work introduction story. When I first moved to Los Angeles, I went to a lot of social events. You know, parties, networking events, trying to meet people. And in LA, the first question everyone asks is, "So what do you do?"
It's true. In LA, what do you do is like saying hello.
And I work in... It is complicated to explain. Basically, I work in audio production. Podcasts, radio, that kind of thing.
Which is actually very cool.
It is cool. But when I said I work in audio production, people's faces would go blank. Just blank. Like I had said something in a foreign language.
Really?
Because in LA, everyone either works in film, television, music, or technology. Those are the four things. Anything else, blank face.
What did people say?
One man said, "Oh, so like podcasts? Is that still a thing?" And I said, "You are at a networking event where 3 people have already mentioned their podcasts." And he said, right, and walked away.
Is that still a thing? Podcasts are huge.
I know. And then I tried a different approach. Next event, someone asked, "What do you do?" And I said, "I work in entertainment."
Very LA answer.
Faces immediately lit up. "Oh, entertainment. What kind?" "Audio." "Oh, interesting." Exact same job, different word, completely different reaction.
That is brilliant. The power of framing. Framing means how you describe something, the words you choose. Same information, different words, different reaction.
Los Angeles taught me that very quickly.
Okay, more vocabulary. I work in, followed by an area or industry. I work in education. I work in technology. I work in entertainment, apparently. And I am currently. This means what you are doing right now, at this moment in your life. I'm currently studying English. I'm currently looking for a new job. Very natural phrase. Okay, hobbies and interests. A very important part of introducing yourself. In my free time, I like to read. In my free time, I go running. Or, I'm really into. This is very casual, very natural. I'm really into cooking. I'm really into podcasts. I'm really into means I really like, I am very interested in.
I'm really into is a great phrase. Very common in spoken English. Very natural.
Paul, what are you really into?
Tea. Walking. Reading. Old films. Jackets from 2004.
The jacket makes every single episode.
The jacket is part of my identity now. When I introduce myself, I should probably just say, "Hi, I'm Paul. I have a very good jacket."
And I once watched a kettle boil for 3 minutes and 14 seconds.
That was a mindful experience, and I stand by it.
Okay, I have another introduction story. This one is a bit embarrassing. I was at a work conference, very professional event, very serious people. And we were doing introductions in a big group. And I was so nervous because everyone seemed very impressive and important.
What happened?
So when it was my turn, I stood up and said, "Hi everyone, I'm Lily. I'm from California. I work in content creation, and in my free time, I love hiking, cooking, and then my brain just stopped. Completely empty. And I stood there in silence in front of 30 people, trying to remember what else I liked doing.
How long was the silence?
It felt like 45 years. It was probably 4 seconds. But 4 seconds of silence in front of 30 people is an eternity.
What did you say?
I said, "And sleeping."
Sleeping.
I told 30 business professionals that my hobby is sleeping. As if sleeping is a hobby. Everyone sleeps. It is not a hobby. It is a biological necessity.
What did people do?
A few people laughed. One very serious man in a gray suit nodded very slowly, like he was taking mental notes. And then someone else started talking, and I sat down and stared at the table for the next 10 minutes.
The serious man nodding. He respected the honesty.
Maybe. Or maybe he was judging me silently. I'll never know. The lesson is, always prepare your introduction before a big event.
Excellent advice. Prepare 2 or 3 things you like doing, so when your brain goes empty, you have a backup.
And ideally, something more impressive than sleeping.
Or pizza eating.
Or pizza eating. Okay, more phrases. One thing I love is very natural way to talk about hobbies. One thing I love is traveling. I'm passionate about. Passionate means you love something very much. It is very important to you. I'm passionate about learning languages. And nice to meet you. Always say this when you meet someone for the first time. Hi, I'm Lily. Nice to meet you. Or the response, nice to meet you too.
And a slightly more formal version. It's a pleasure to meet you. This is for more professional situations. A job interview, meeting your partner's parents for the first time.
Oh, meeting the parents. That is a whole introduction situation.
I met a girlfriend's parents once, many years ago, and I was so nervous I introduced myself with the wrong name.
The wrong name?
I said, "Hi, I'm..." And for some reason, the name James came out. My name is Paul. I have never been called James. I don't know a James. The name James had never been relevant to my life in any way.
Why did you say James?
I have absolutely no idea. Nerves, pure panic. And her father said, "Nice to meet you, James," and shook my hand. And I thought, do I correct this now? Do I just become James for the evening?
What did you do?
I let it go for about 20 minutes. For 20 minutes, I was James. And then her mother called me James. And something inside me broke, and I said, "Actually, I'm so sorry. My name is Paul."
After 20 minutes.
And her father looked at me very seriously and said, "Why did you say James?" And I said, "I genuinely don't know, sir." And he nodded very slowly, like Lily's serious man in the gray suit, and said, "Right then, Paul."
Right then, Paul. Did they like you?
They were very polite about the whole James situation. Very British of them.
Only in Britain can you introduce yourself with the wrong name and everyone just politely moves on. Okay, final vocabulary. Let me introduce myself. A formal, confident way to start. Hi, let me introduce myself. I'm Paul. I go by the name people call you, especially if your real name is long or difficult. My full name is Elizabeth, but I go by Lily. And feel free to ask me anything. A warm, open phrase to end an introduction. That's a little bit about me. Feel free to ask me anything.
Right, so let's put it all together. A perfect simple introduction in English sounds like this. Hi, I'm Paul. I'm originally from London, but I live in Los Angeles now. I work in audio. I make podcasts. In my free time, I love reading, walking, and drinking tea. Nice to meet you.
Simple, clear, friendly, and under 45 minutes, unlike the knee surgery man.
The knee surgery man had a lot to say.
Your challenge for today, and we really want to see this, write your introduction in the comments, in English, just like Paul's example. Your name, where you are from, what you do, one thing you love. Write it below. We read every single one, and we will reply.
This is the best practice you can do. Write it out, then say it out loud, then say it again. By the third time, it feels completely natural.
And if you panic and say the wrong name, or mention sleeping, or pizza, that is okay too. The most important thing is that you try.
And please subscribe to A Cup of English podcast. Free. New episodes every week, and every subscriber makes us genuinely happy.
See you in the next one.
Cheerio, everyone.
Bye, guys.